Hamilton was the very famous Broadway musical that was filmed about 4 years ago for Disney Plus. And right now I'm going to be reviewing the Broadway musical Hamilton right here on Max Talk Movies. My name is Max Stenberg, and today on this episode of Max Talk Movies, I'll be reviewing Hamilton. If you like streaming platform reviews, movie reviews, and TV show reviews, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, ring that bell for notifications for any video that I have upcoming here on Max Talk Movies. Also, please hit that like button if you're watching this video. The more you guys support the channel and leave a comment and leave a like, the more algorithm and the more people can watch our videos. So first, guys, I'm going to talk about Hamilton itself. I am not counting this as a film, so I'm not going to put this on any ranking for the end of the year, because this really is just a Broadway play that was musical, but that was filmed 4 years ago. Obviously, guys, we know about Hamilton. Everyone saw Hamilton. It was a global phenomenon with everyone singing the songs, even though not a lot of people could even get tickets with this original cast. I'm someone who didn't know any of the songs, any of the performances as well. I knew who was in it, I just didn't know what was going to happen. So I kind of came into this blind. But I've liked Lin-Manuel Miranda, in the past, because he did In the Heights, and I watched that back in the day on YouTube, and I really enjoyed that. So I was excited to see what he would do here with Hamilton. I've seen Lin-Manuel Miranda in Mary Poppins, His Dark Materials, those type of stuff. I've seen Daveed Diggs in Blind Spotting and The Buzzsaw, and I've heard a lot of great Jonathan Groff, of course, from Frozen. So there's a lot of great cast in here. So how was it? Did it live up to the hype? Yes, it does. On every level, Hamilton's one of the best things you'll probably see all year. That includes just film, TV, and obviously now musical Broadway fashion. It's fantastic. There isn't a lot of issues that I can say about it. The thing that I do want to say first that's amazing about it is that Lin-Manuel Miranda is just a superstar in its own. Everyone can give him crap, obviously, because obviously people are always on the bandwagon, but he didn't just write the book. He wrote the book. He wrote the screenplay. He wrote the lyrics, and he produced the show, and he stars in it. This is really his project. And you can see how passionate he is based on also his performance as Hamilton, which is a very good performance. Is it one of the strongest performances on the show? I don't think so. I think there's a lot of stronger performances, but doesn't mean Hamilton isn't a great presence to have. You feel the passion from Lin-Manuel Miranda as well, and that really comes through here. But also that they nailed, that I didn't know, was the relationship between Burr and Hamilton. I'm not going to spoil what happens. I mean, if you know American history, you know what happens between Burr and Hamilton. But if you don't know, I'm not going to spoil it. But they really build that relationship between Hamilton and Burr. Burr's played by Leslie Odom Jr., to a point where they humanize all these founding fathers for sure. But the relationship between Burr and Hamilton, I didn't think was there. I don't remember talking about that in history classes. But here they really nail why Burr was so important to Hamilton being the first friend he's ever had in the United States. And it's what happens in the ending. It's so powerful. Daveed Diggs most of the time steals the show. He was Lafayette in the first act of Hamilton, and in the second act, he was Thomas Jefferson. And he was I think he was good in the first act. He had a great accent, but nothing crazy funny. He was hilarious in the second act. And also what they did in the second act, which I absolutely thought was hilarious, was when they had a board meeting or whatever, they had Hamilton and Jefferson have a rap battle. So it was Diggs versus Lynn in a rap battle, and it was fantastic. And the judge was George Washington. And that was fantastic. Just uniqueness of the writing itself, that could just work in modern time. Also, King George, for me, steals the whole show. Jonathan Groff gets 3 scenes. It's just him singing, and they're all fantastic. I never laughed harder either when Daveed Diggs was on screen or when Jonathan Groff was on screen. And that shows you how great and talented and funny those two characters are. I also think Chris Jackson's George Washington was great. Everyone, there's no weakness here in this cast. Also, the women are really good. Renee Elise Goldsberry as Angelica was the strongest out of the female cast. Also, Philippa Sue as Eliza Hamilton. Everything, all the cast is great. And that's what Hamilton excels at, is that the cast is pretty much flawless here for Hamilton. There is no weak spot, and it's never boring. Now, yes, it is 2 hours and 40 minutes, and I would say the second act for me is a lot better than the first act. In the first act, I was checking the clock a lot. But in the second act, I never looked at my phone to see what time it was. That's how amazing the second act is. The first act is a lot of exposition. They have to give you a reason why Hamilton and his wife are important, why her sisters are important, while Burr is important, while why all these type of people are important. The second act, because you already have established all of these characters, it just flows a lot better, I would say, because it's so much more urgent and there's a lot of stakes that happens in the second act. There's a lot of emotional stuff that happens in the second act. And also what I love is that Lin-Manuel Miranda doesn't shade away from really showing both the really good side to Alexander Hamilton and the really bad. He's not glorifying any of these characters. He's just bringing them up to a modern side, to a fun side. But Hamilton as well does a lot of bad things, and you see those things happen in the show, especially towards that second act. And that's why it excels too, because it's not just glorifying, these characters, and that's why it's just a fantastic experience in general. Also, his relationship with his wife was also something that was huge in the show. Not sure it was huge. I never really talked about in history classes his relationship with his wife and their sisters, but I mean, he definitely gave the women a much bigger role than I expected, and I actually loved that. They brought a different opera type of singing to the show, and that was pretty great, to a hip-hop singing like Leslie Odom does as well. It was great to hear different types of sounds as well throughout the show. There were a lot of songs that absolutely click. I think Room in the Room song, that was fantastic. Obviously, everyone knows the opener, but there were some really emotional songs. And even though I know about American history, everything that was going to happen, it still hit me emotionally, though, in the very right way. I felt very tense when the big climax happens in the third act. Well, in the second act, of the show, and the ending, and it hits hard really solidly. And just explaining how to tell stories of history. And this one is just super unique. I absolutely loved Hamilton to death. It's one of my favorite things I've seen all year. I give Hamilton a 4.5 out of 5, a 95%. There were some issues in the first act. I had said it was a little too exposition heavy. Some of the songs did drag just a touch in the first act. But in general, the show is pretty much flawless with an amazing cast, amazing songs, and a very energetic tone to talk about history. If you have seen Hamilton, if you saw Hamilton in person, let me know in the comment section. If you saw this new version, did it match up to you, to your idea of it when you were in the crowd? If you've never seen Hamilton like me, and you saw Disney Plus, what are your thoughts on Hamilton? If you haven't seen Hamilton at all, not in the live or on Disney Plus, tell me down below if you're excited to see Hamilton, which just came out on Disney Plus this past Friday. Be sure to leave me a like here in the video if you like this review, and as I said, leave a comment. If you like movie reviews, streaming platform reviews, and TV and movie reviews, and streaming platform reviews and TV show reviews, sorry guys, it's the morning here. Give me a subscribe, give me a ring the bell for notifications so you're updated on all the next videos. 2 movies coming out this coming Friday: Greyhound and the Charlize Theron Netflix movie, The Old Guard. I'll be reviewing both of those on Friday next week. That's a big day for me. So stay tuned. I probably will have a ranking possibly this week before that. So stay tuned. Hit that notification bell so you're updated on all the upcoming videos. And I'll see you guys soon.